Greetings everyone. My name is Nikhil Doyle. I'm a third year electrical student from IIT Tirupati. As a part of my MLIP mini project, today we are going to take a look into generating images with the help of their text descriptions. First, let's understand our problem statement clearly. Imagine simply talking and having a computer generate an image of your dream kitchen or a mock-up of your latest app. This could be done with the help of text-to-image generation technique. We provide text description as input, which is roughly an image caption, and expect an output as image. As shown in the figure present here, we give input a dog and a kid are playing frisbee, and we are generating an image where a kid wearing blue t-shirt and pink shorts is throwing a frisbee and playing with his dog. We provide text as input and we are trying to create a visual and semantic image. These techniques could be used in industries of photo editing, video gaming, and art generation. Nowadays, there has been quite a satisfactory work in creating visually stunning images, but it won't encapsulate the sentiment present in the entire caption. So today we will briefly discuss about MirrorCAN, which is learning text to image generation using re-description. Most of the work happened till now in text to image generation has been done with the help of generative adversarial networks or GAN. To understand mirror GAN, we should definitely have a brief understanding about GAN. Mirror GAN mostly consists of three parts. Stem, which takes in the text description and represents it using numbers. Glam, which is the heart of the mirror GAN, and Stream, which takes the image generated by Glam and creates a text description of it, which is basically a image captioning module. Before understanding MirrorGAN's architecture properly, let's take some time to understand GAN. GANs are made up of two parts, a generator and a discriminator, which are sort of battling against each other. Generator and discriminator are nothing but neural networks. The discriminator's goal is to distinguish between real images and those produced by the generator. And the generator's goal is to fool the discriminator into thinking the photos it generated are real. Over time, the generator and the discriminator keep trying to one-up each other and get better and better at their task. After training, we then usually throw out the discriminator and use the generator to create realistic copies of the training data. Both the generator and discriminator are neural networks which are optimized using gradient descent in the respect to a loss function. Here you can see the loss function of a GAN. Uh, the first term in this function is the log of discriminator's prediction of a real image x, and the second term is log of 1 minus the discriminator's prediction of a generated image. The way we integrate our text description into this is by using conditional GANs, where both the generator and discriminator take in an extra input y, which can be anything, a photo, text, basically a ground truth. The GAN is then trained to generate images based on its conditioning. This state of art isn't quite groundbreaking. Actually, this model exemplifies how a small change in particular model can have a massive change. As a summary, we can say that this state of art is a combination of StackGAN++, which is attached with image captioning module for acquiring another loss, which will inevitably help in improving its performance. First, let's take a look at the very first part of the module, STEM, Semantic Text Embedding Modules. All the modules which have tried to showcase text-to-image generation are heavily criticized of generating poor semantic images. So embedding the semantic into model is a crucial task. Let's take a look into first part of the module. STEM, which stands for Semantic Text embedding module. For embedding, we use a pre-trained RNN which takes the text description as input and outputs a word level and sentence level embeddings. RNN of text descriptions will give two embeddings W and S. W is hidden state from all time steps. S is the final hidden state. The word level embedding W is a D cross L matrix where L is the number of words and D is the dimension of hidden state of each word. The sentence level embedding S is a vector with D dimensions. In order to create more training data, the sentence level embeddings are passed through a conditioning augmentation. This samples a new text embedding from the Gaussian distribution. Next is GLAM, Global Local Collaborative Attention Model. This is the heart. This is the heart of the model, or the place where magic happens. It's made up of multiple visual feature transforms, which are nothing but neural networks which extract visual features, which are stacked on top of each other and trained one after the other. At each stage of training, a generator GI is fed the output of visual transformer F1 and constructs an image which is just judged by discriminator DL. Let's take a deep dive here. The first visual feature transformer F0 simply takes the conditioned sentence level embeddings and a random noise vector. The output of a visual feature is then fed into generator G0 which creates 64 cross 64 cross 3 image. Discriminator D0 is first trained on a batch of real and fake images, then discriminator weights are frozen and the generator is trained. F0 is responsible for upsampling. It doesn't use word embeddings. Next, F1 attention model combines the previous stage content H0 with word level embeddings. Inside F1, this green colored layer simply joins the previous hidden stage H0 with the output of attention model F1 that is passed through multiple residual layers and finally is upsampled to convert it into same semantic space as the visual feature. Next, F2 has done is similar to F1. All the outputs of this visual feature transformers are then run to their respective generators. Generators are simply a convolution layer to reduce the number of channels to 3. Next, continuing our model to its final part, Stream is basically an image captioning model. Stream stands for Semantic Text Regenerated and Alignment Model. This model generates a text description of the generated image and is used to check how similar its generated description is to the original description. The module is made up of an encoder-decoder architecture. The encoder is a CNN trained on ImageNet. The decoder is an RNN. The generated image is encoded by CNN into a visual feature which becomes an input to the RNN, and this RNN creates a word embedding matrix, which in turn maps word features into the visual feature space. The stream module is pre-trained and its weight kept fixed while the other two modules are training. It makes the training process more stable and much less expensive in terms of memory and time. The generator's loss function is made up of two parts: how well it's able to fool the discriminator and how closely the original description matches with the description generated by stream. The first part is further broken into two parts. The first term measures how realistic the discriminator thought the generator image was. Since there is a negative sign in front of the first term, minimizing it means maximizing the log function log of DL. which means the generator is trying to get discriminator to think its image is real. The second term measures how closely the text description's meaning matches that of the generated image. Another loss function which checks how closely the semantics of the original text description matches that generated by the stream model. Here is the final generator loss which combines both the previous losses. Here lambda is a hyperparameter which can be tuned to balance adversarial loss with text semantic reconstruction loss. The first next is the loss function for the discriminator. The first two terms train the discriminator to distinguish between images which look real and those that look fake by maximizing its score of real images and minimizing the score of the generated images. And the last two terms train the discriminator to identify whether an image corresponds with the text description by maximizing its score for true images to ground truth images and minimizing its score for generated images. Now let's take a look at the results. Now let's take a look at the results. Dataset which we have used are Cub and MS Coco. Cub is a wide dataset about high quality images of birds, and MS Coco is a dataset made by Microsoft, which is basically all the common objects used in our day-to-day life, which we see in our day-to-day life. Here we can see, let us go through the qualitative results first. The first row showcases the input, second row shows the output of attention GAN, next is the output of mirror GAN baseline, which refers to model using only word level embeddings. Fourth shows the output of mirror GAN, and the last row shows the ground truth. For the Cub dataset, which is the bird images, mirror GAN looks to be doing just a bit better compared to others. For the MS Coco dataset, mirror GAN seems to be highly efficient compared to others. If we look at the second last column, the input is boats at the dock with the city backdrop. We can see attention GAN is trying to make something with boats, but hasn't been too much correct with the background. Mirror GAN baseline has been the worst among all three, and we can clearly say that mirror GAN makes the best among all three. And we can see that how similar it is to the ground truth. Now let's take a look at the quantitative results. First table, so this table shows the inception scores of various models. So what is the inception score? The inception score takes a list of images and returns a single floating point number, the score. The score is a measure of how realistic a GAN's output is. The score measures two things simultaneously. Do the images have variety, and thus each image distinctly looks like something. If both things are true, the score will be high. If either or both are false, the score will be low. From the table, we can see how mirror GAN is the best performed among all the present state-of-art methods. In conclusion, I would like to say that text-to-image generation is highly progressing subfield of deep learning. Use of GANs have never been more, and we have more computational power than ever. As for the future work is here, we can extend this project as speech to image generation. And these are the research paper and references I went through to make this presentation possible. I would like to thank Dr. Ramakrishna Murthy for his valuable support and feedback for this mini project. Thank you.